Libraries have recently become places where you frequently find liberal values being espoused. Here in the U.S., we frequently see drag queen story time. And libraries are publicly funded, so you're allowed to say what you want. However, it's gotten a little on the nose recently. This is also happening across the pond, and this story revolves around the rainbow dildo butt monkey, which is something that you can't make up. It happened in the London metro area, where the town's organizers brought in these costumed actors to encourage children from the middle school and high school age to read. And for whatever reason, they paid somebody to show up in a rainbow monkey suit with a dildo attached, as you're seeing on screen right now. Can't make this stuff up. The interesting thing is that the town was joking around about it on Twitter until some officials stepped in and said, no, this will never happen again, because there was a public outrage. And honestly, that's probably justified if you have somebody wearing a monkey dildo suit around kids. But while that's a funny story, it's really indicative of a way that our culture has been going recently. I declined to comment on this story last week. It was the San Francisco Gay Men's Choir coming out with a song called "We're Coming for Your Children." Here's a clip of that.
But you're just frightened. You think that we'll corrupt your kids if our agenda goes unchecked. Funny, just this once, you're correct.
While they try to play it off when the public gets mad, they're not joking. They're really just telling you their agenda. And we ought to take note of it. And this is something that Aldous Huxley talked about in Brave New World many a moon ago. And I think that there's a really interesting quote from that book that I'd like to read to you about this problem. The book is set in a dystopian/utopian future where they've kind of achieved the transhumanism that we're slowly rolling towards. All humans are engineered and are born from a test tube, basically, and they are all conditioned in a factory-like school to play the perfect role in society. And you see this from the perspective of the alphas, which are the top level of society, the people who make all the decisions. But they also intentionally make dumb the people who have to do all of the manual labor. So they actually introduce alcohol into the birthing. They introduce alcohol into the birth process. It's a very fascinating book. And this quote here comes from the first or second chapter when they're talking about the conditioning process that the kids go through, and it's kind of part of what sets you up for the rest of the book. So I'm not going to ruin anything here for you. And you're following around the director of this organization that is conditioning the children. And the director says, referring to a kid, "Exquisite little creature. What I'm going to tell you now," he said, "may sound incredible. But then, when you're not accustomed to history, most facts about the past do sound incredible." Note, they're not taught about history in this utopian, dystopian future. He let out the amazing truth. For a very long period of time before our Ford, that's their leader, and even for some generations afterwards, erotic play between children had been regarded as abnormal. There was a roar of laughter. And not only abnormal, but actually immoral. No. And had therefore been rigorously suppressed. A look of astonished incredulity appeared on the faces of his listeners. Poor little kids not allowed to amuse themselves. They could not believe it. If you're confused about why and how all this stuff is happening or where it leads, I would strongly suggest that you pick up a copy of Brave New World. It's a book that's fleshed out these ideas and gone even farther than we've currently gone, but it illuminates a lot the mentality that underlies these ideas, and I think will give you a perspective that will be valuable.